This is for our Heavenly Hercules model. Some people have encountered difficulties in assembling the key. To fix the possible issues, do the following. Connect the pieces. This surface needs to correspond to this surface here. So you need to file down the small ledge to the same height as this ledge. File down this surface until it's the same height as the nearby one. This is the result you should get. So these nearby surfaces are the same height, and they're level with each other. So when you put on this circular part, it goes down on a flat surface. So we will assemble the slot for the spring, assemble the stand for the airplane. We don't push these parts all the way down yet. If any of the smaller parts have imperfections, make sure to file them down a little bit. You can use our toolkit for that. It has a file as well as pliers. This is how we assemble the spring. Insert the spring. It will later be wound in this direction according to the arrows. Do not cut the bandage yet. We take the key and we take this little ring and put it on like this. The key will later move this way to the right. If they fall, you can put them back in. It's quite easy. And we've left the extended part of the spring down here, so it's accessible later on. We put on this second smaller ring as well. And what we need to do now is push apart these two thin middle sections on the key. Use a thin instrument to push them apart. And do the same on the other sides. Then we have these two spiral looking parts. They move like this. Put them on like so. And make sure all these little parts, once again, don't have any imperfections. If they do, file them down to make sure everything is smooth and even. Now we need to push apart these metal sections, same as before, so that everything is fixed in place and doesn't fall off. Now we can check that it moves. Make sure to cut the bandage only if the spring is enclosed for safety. Otherwise, it may unwind with force, which may be dangerous. If you accidentally unwound the spring already, there's a method to wind it back in, but please don't do that yet. We'll show you how to do it in a separate video. The mechanism turns only in one direction, and it should be blocked in the other one. If you have a situation where you've assembled the mechanism, but the plane doesn't react, this may be because the plane is a bit too far from the connecting gear on the stand. To fix this, you can adjust the gear itself. Bend the ridges of the gear at a 45-degree angle towards the plane. Do this to each ridge. Make sure they are all at the same angle. Make sure all the other surfaces are straight and that the gear is firmly in its center slot, not in the decoration, but in the center slot. Also make sure that the gears in your plane are rotating correctly. You can use the pliers to press the small parts together if anything is loose, and make any other small adjustments. Make sure everything connects together correctly. Also make sure you bend these ridges to a correct angle so the plane lands. As you can see, it now works. Block the spring, wind up, unblock, watch it go. What you can also check for is to make sure all the inner gears connect with each other. You can fix this by adjusting the outer surfaces of the stand. So when they rotate, they need to connect together. You can also try bending the ridges of the gear a bit more than 45 degrees. We also recommend using standard WD-40 oil to lubricate the stand, especially into the gear. And you can also add a bit to the plane itself. This may fix some issues. If your plane is working correctly, you don't need to do this, but we find it just fixes some things. And that's all our advice for now. Enjoy.